The rain came down in sheets when the patrol car slammed into the alley, tires screaming as the driver lost control and clipped a dumpster. 2 blocks away, blue lights stuttered against brick walls, turning the night into a broken strobe. The suspect had vanished on foot, leaving behind a single shoe and a trail of muddy prints that led nowhere. By the time detectives arrived, the city had already begun to erase the evidence, washing secrets into the gutter. At dawn, a jogger found the body. It lay in a narrow strip of parkland behind a renovated warehouse district an area locals called safe. The victim was identified as Daniel Mercer, 39, a respected financial consultant with a spotless reputation and a calendar booked weeks in advance. His wallet was still in his pocket. His watch still ticked. Nothing looked stolen. That was the first problem. Crimes without obvious motives were the ones that dragged on forever. Detective Elena Ruiz stood at the edge of the taped perimeter, studying the scene as technicians worked quietly. She noticed what others missed: the careful placement, the lack of chaos. Whatever had happened here wasn't impulsive. It was designed. Nearby, a storm drain held a folded scrap of paper, soaked but intact. On it, a single number was written in blue ink. Not a phone number, not an address, just a number. Across town, Daniel's wife, Claire Mercer, answered the door in a silk robe, eyes red but dry. She spoke calmly, almost too calmly, about a late meeting her husband had mentioned. She handed over his laptop without protest. She even offered coffee. Ruiz watched her hands. They didn't shake. This level of composure wasn't just strength. It was a performance. Claire was hiding something. But what? Was it grief? Or guilt? The investigation moved fast and wrong at the same time. On the surface, Daniel had no enemies. His clients adored him. His colleagues trusted him with their money and their futures. But his emails told a different story: encrypted threads, carefully worded messages, meetings set at odd hours. Then there was the transfer. A large sum of money moved out of an offshore account 3 days before his death. The recipient? A shell company that didn't officially exist. Daniel Mercer was living 2 lives, and one of them had just cost him everything. As the day wore on, pressure mounted. The mayor wanted answers. The media wanted a villain. And someone who knew the rhythm of police work was already 2 steps ahead. Surveillance footage near the park glitched at the exact minute Daniel was believed to have died. Traffic cameras along the escape route had been conveniently offline due to maintenance. It was clean. Too clean. This wasn't a crime of passion. It was a professional hit, executed with military precision. But who was the target? The respected consultant, or the man behind the encrypted emails? That night, Ruiz returned to the warehouse district. She walked the perimeter again, letting the city speak. The official story felt hollow, like a script missing its final pages. Behind the building, she noticed a rusted door, half hidden by ivy. It wasn't on the blueprints. The lock was new. A fresh scratch on the metal told her it had been accessed recently. Her instincts screamed. She called for backup and waited, rain starting again, tapping like a countdown on the hood of her car. When the locksmith finally snapped the lock and the door creaked open, the beam of a flashlight cut through dust and darkness. What she found inside wasn't just a clue. It was the entire operation laid bare. The walls were covered in photographs of Daniel Mercer meetings, dinners, quiet moments taken over months. This wasn't just surveillance. It was a study. And taped at the center was a printed document with a bold header: Phase 2. Completion. Daniel's murder wasn't the end of the story. It was the beginning of something much, much worse. Phase 2 had just begun, and the city had no idea what was coming. Like, subscribe, and drop a comment if you can handle the truth, because tonight's story isn't just dark, it's the kind that watches back.